Welcome back. It's me, Taco Boy 1.
And Taco Boy 2.
We are the lovely Christian and Jonathan here
Yes.
to inform
The lovely.
you. The lovely. Yes, I would say we're lovely. Self-entitled.
I almost. Aren't they lovely?
That is who
They are the Taco Boys.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Our new theme song is definitely original and not a rip-off of anything
That
else.
is correct.
So.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jonathan.
Let's go to our mysterious voices. Today we're tackling one of the world's mysteries, otherwise known as a conspiracy theory. I kind of went a little growly with mine.
I just
I almost
whistled. I didn't whistle. I whispered behind you.
and I'm like, what is the whistling on the Taco Boys podcast?
What is it?
Will we ever find out? Is it an alien spaceship? Are the Taco Boys actually aliens?
Is the taco
We're like, meat
an
mark,
alien food? What? What?
I don't know why I said are the Taco Boys aliens? And then I went meat mark.
I didn't even hear you do that. That's hilarious.
You caught it like at the end, and you were just like, huh? Also, I just did my in my trailer voice. Anyway,
all right.
Today we are talking about conspiracy.
That's right. And what better way to start off our conspiracy theories than with the lovely Taco Bell conspiracy?
Well, you know what?
Oh my gosh! What is that sound?
So, now I will say this. This means that I'm bringing out a surprise segment. Now, here's what's hilarious is Christian faked an air horn noise before we even started recording. And I'm secretly sitting over here with my phone's air horn app already activated. Like, did he find out? Is there a conspiracy that Christian already knew what my air horn idea was? So, I've got a game for you. This is a real quick game that I like to call, is this a real conspiracy or just a faked Jonathan theory?
Oh, all right. Let's give it a go.
I'm gonna read you 5 different conspiracy theories. If you get 3 of the 5 right, I'll make up a short rap about you.
Oh wow.
If you lose, then I won't make the rap.
All right. Let's hope I win. Fingers crossed at home, people. Unless you're driving, then don't cross your fingers. I have not prepared a rap.
I just made up that prize because I realized I didn't have a prize for you.
That is an on-the-spot prize right there.
I'm already regretting my decision.
I am very nervous.
Here we go. Question 1, conspiracy 1. Michelle Obama is actually a man. The first lady for Obama is actually a man. There have been reports of Barack calling her Michael instead of Michelle. Oh. Is this real or not?
Oh my gosh. So okay, so is this oh my. So there's how many of these I'm going to hear?
5.
5. Okay. Man. Okay, so do I get to hear the other ones before I guess? I feel like it would be fair if I got to hear the other ones.
Well, no. So I'm going off of each one. It's like a true or false.
So it's okay. So it's not a comparison. I can't be like
no.
One
I mean,
feels more like a conspiracy than the other.
No, I mean it's like I could have written it or it's real. So Michelle Obama is actually a man is either a real conspiracy or a fake one.
This is definitely real. There is no way you would have thought to make this up at all.
Dude, it's totally real.
I knew it.
So like this is a real thing. There's like people that are like, did you see that video where Obama called her Michael instead of Michelle?
Oh.
So it's a weird conspiracy theory.
Can you do an Obama impersonation?
I like to look at Michelle. And I sometimes think that she might be a man.
Hello, Michael. I mean, my wife.
Hello, Michael.
Michelle.
I mean, my lovely wife, Michelle. The worst Obama.
Yes. Too good. Okay, next one.
All right. So here's. I'm just kind of scrolling randomly through some of these. So here's one. Walt Disney's head is frozen under the Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Disneyland. And Disney made the movie Frozen to cover it up.
To cover it up. I've definitely heard the first half of this as a conspiracy for sure. Like, I know for a fact. But the fact that Frozen is as tagged onto it makes me feel that you are making that up and that it isn't actually a real conspiracy.
It's real.
Oh, dang it! I knew the first half was true.
It.
I was like,
So there is a conspiracy theory that Walt Disney, instead of being cremated, was frozen and his head was like cryogenically whatever.
Yes.
And they believe that they put it under the Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Disneyland, which is very strange. But then the real conspiracy picks up where they're like, hey, we think that the Walt Disney Company decided to make the movie Frozen that when people search on the internet Walt Disney Frozen, it doesn't show the conspiracy.
Oh wow. Dang.
Which I was like, what the crap? That is crazy.
That's what made me think it wasn't real anymore. I'm like, okay, I know the first one was totally a conspiracy, but then I was like, the fact that
it's been
Frozen
added
is
to.
tagged on, I'm like,
you're like, who does he think I am?
What? He think I'm stupid?
Right. So, you ready for this? You've got one right, one wrong.
Oh gosh.
Zac Efron, you know who Zac Efron is, right?
Who doesn't?
Zac Efron is actually from Alaska, from an oil-rich family that paid the Illuminati. Zac Efron was originally Zachary Levsko. His parents were rich due to their high-level business in Levsko Oils. And they had their sons join the Illuminati early and paid them off so that they could maintain their rich heritage, even though he did not want to join in the family business. That one was wordy.
Oh my gosh.
I was like running out of air as I was reading it. I was like,
my gosh. Once again, this feels very specific for you to just have made this up.
Specific for me to have made it up?
Well, the fact that it's just like, it's so like, it's Zac Efron, first of all. Like, why would you have thought of him? Of any person.
I don't know why I would have thought of him.
But you that's the game, right? You made up some, and then others are real.
Yes, some are real, some are fake.
And you're only giving
some
me
are just
5?
Jonathan theories. Yeah.
But, okay.
You've got one wrong, one right.
Oh my gosh.
Which will you choose?
Frick. Golly, that is so... That also feels like very specific to be like... I'm going to say... I hate this. I'm going to say this is... This is your conspiracy that you made this up.
It's 100% mine.
Yes!
I made that one up.
My gosh, can we get an applause thing?
Thank you. I felt like very achieved for making that one up. I was like, Zachary Levsko? That's a weird last name. And yeah, so you've got 2 right. You just have to get one more right, correct. And I suddenly have to freestyle rap a song about you.
Come on.
So the next one is the Grand Canyon is actually a military base. Sorry, I lost my place. It says, this is why so many people have fallen, in quotes, to their deaths. The Grand Canyon is the actual location for Area 51. I'm going to say 52. When people have become close to discovering it, they have died in mysterious ways, most of the time involving some sort of plunge into the canyon.
Larry Boy. Plunging them into the canyon.
Super suction plunging into the canyon ears.
Oh my gosh. To be honest, I'm gonna say this is your conspiracy theory as well.
It is.
Yeah.
I lost my confidence, and so I read it with less confidence.
Yep.
Oh my word.
That's right.
Okay.
Freestyle rap.
You gotta freestyle it. All right. So I have one more. This is a bonus at this point. So you've got 3 out of 5. I was not sharp enough.
Yeah.
All right. So Paul McCartney from the Beatles actually died in the 60s and was replaced in the band with an orphan whose name was Billy Shears.
Wow.
Real or
okay,
fake?
so how old would Paul have been in that?
I don't know. It says the 60s.
Well, I don't know how old when the Beatles were.
I mean, the
thing as
Beatles
much.
were the 60s. Just disclaimer: Christian hasn't listened to much of the Beatles.
Yeah, ever. Okay,
Yeah, this
so-
is like them start pretty much their whole career.
So the start
'Cause
of the
they-
career, Paul dies, and then he gets replaced with an orphan.
Yeah.
Where was the orphan from?
I don't know. I'm just
Oh,
I'm
they
just reading.
just-
I don't have the bonus information here.
If you know where the orphan was from, that
If you know
please
where Billy
Paul-
Shears was born, please tell us.
comment on Instagram. Okay. Dang. I'm gonna say that this.
What will you choose?
Is
I mean, you've already won.
yeah, I know. I just want to get it right. I feel like this is also one of your conspiracy theories.
So, this is a real one.
Okay, dang it.
So, first of all, this is the conspiracy that I've also brought to the table to discuss.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yes, so I will give you more details as
Awesome.
to where Billy Shears is from. But, yeah, so I guess now, boy, I really committed to this one. I was so confident you weren't going to get it that I was like, sure, I'll freestyle rap. All right, I'm going to like, my name is Jonathan, and my friend is Christian. We're on the Taco Boys podcast. Just listen. Hey, that was not bad. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not a good rapper, and I'm going to start chewing. I don't know. Chewing? I surprised myself with the first line so much that I like completely lost all track of what I was saying.
I believe the Bible said pride comes before the fall.
I was like, well, the first part I was like, hey, how did I come up with that rhyme? Okay, and then it was like I even said that in the song. I was like, whoa, hey.
Yeah. Whoa, look at me go. I am such a rapping boy.
It's like we are now relabeled the Hip Hop Boys.
That's right. The Taco Boys will be dropping a mixtape come 2020.
It's just that one 5-second
That one
song
single.
as a single. Here's the deal. I'll just send you that audio too, and you'll just you'll do a
Oh,
little
dude, absolutely.
little
I will
mixie
make
for
it
the
sound
Instagram.
fantastic. Absolutely. I will. Send it to me.
Please
That'd be
do.
fantastic.
I tried to stay consistent in my rhythm, but I don't know. So,
right.
the conspiracy theory.
Yeah. Paul McCartney. Where from?
Yes. So this is, I mean, I've known about this conspiracy theory for a little while, and they kind of label it as one of the first social conspiracy theories that like really gave popularity to the idea of like, hey, someone's hiding something,
Okay.
because it was like an international thing.
Wow.
You know, the Beatles, they were from the across the pond, as they
Oh,
say,
okay.
Liverpool.
Across the pond.
And so you had people over there that were listening, and you had America that was obviously very invested in that. So then you had the conspiracy theory that Paul McCartney actually died in a car wreck. And where this gets really crazy is that there is so-called proof of it. Now, here's what happens. I've got a lovely little article that I've brought up here. But basically what the theory is that there was a certain time where Paul McCartney was in an argument with Ringo Starr, the drummer for the Beatles. And Paul McCartney left angry, walked out to his car, got in his car, drove away. On the way there, he saw a girl on the side of the road who needed help and needed a ride, so he picked her up. They continued driving, and then he ended up in a car crash and died. So what people say happened is that the British government thought that it would be too heavy of a situation for the already overly invested fan base in the UK to handle.
Wow.
So they thought, we're going to see riots, we're going to see all this happen. So about this time, there is a documented missing persons case of a man named William Shear. William Shear went missing about this time and was never found.
Oh my gosh.
So, William Shear undergoes plastic surgery and reconstructive surgery, obviously, and then replaces Paul McCartney under the orders of the British government, to which the other Beatles did not agree with. So they were not wanting this to happen. And the British government was like, that's too bad. Bob's your uncle. You're going to have Paul McCartney replaced.
Like, I decree it.
I decree that. Why am I Palpatine from Star Wars? Unlimited Paul McCartney.
The Beatles will go on.
So here's where the conspiracy gets really interesting.
Okay, all right.
Is that it then is believed that John Lennon, the other, considered more of a front man for the Beatles, it really bothered him that the British government had gone and replaced Paul McCartney. So he then decides, I'm going to start hiding clues in our music and on our album art to try to communicate to the really invested fans that in fact Paul is dead.
Wow.
Right. So one of the most talked about one of these is the cover to Abbey Road. And I've got my record of Abbey Road right here for your visual. I tried to hide it so you didn't see it. So we've got Abbey Road here, one of the most iconic album covers. You've got John Lennon up front wearing white. Right behind him follows Ringo Starr, and he is wearing black. We have got Paul McCartney right behind Ringo, and then we have George Harrison holding up the back in all denim. So here's what people think. This is a funeral procession. Do you see it, Christian? Do you see the funeral?
I do.
It's just like a funeral. So here's what people think. John Lennon wearing all white. They're like, he's the priest. He's supposed to be the priest. Ringo Starr wearing all black is supposed to be the Undertaker. Paul McCartney, what they've noticed about Paul in this photo is that he is the only one not wearing shoes, as the custom of deceased people not wearing shoes. So he's not wearing shoes, and he's holding a cigarette in his right hand. Paul McCartney is left-handed. So people are like, that's not Paul. George Harrison holding up the back in an everyday man's just denim work attire, and he is the gravedigger and the last person to leave the funeral because he's the final one. Then we have a license plate in the background on this one lone Volkswagen Beetle, the only Beetle, and it's white. So people think that represents Paul McCartney. And the license plate on it says LMW, which they believe stands for Linda McCartney Widow. And then it says 28IF, 28F. The time that this picture was taken, Paul McCartney would have been right over 28 years old. So, it's one of those things where you're kind of like, hold on for a second, that's kind of weird. Like, it's not convincing. Yes. It's not like I'm sitting here like, he's actually dead, just from this.
Right.
But then, you have the album Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. All right, I want you to look up that cover real quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely. Yeah, we're like both typing and talking.
You know how we talk out loud. Everyone talks out loud what they type. It's real.
Yeah.
And either that or you type it in your head. I mean, you say it out loud in your head.
You type it out loud. I always type it out loud in my head.
What a beautiful
cover. I accidentally opened up Amazon. Yeah. So that is a great point. People say this is one of the most iconic covers of all time. So, if you look, you see the flower arrangement and everything. People believe that is supposed to be like a grave floral arrangement, like it's supposed to be a grave. And the other thing is, there is a part on the front of the cover where it's actually the symbol and it says Lonely Hearts Club Band?
Yes.
All right, so someone mirrored it. Like, they took a mirror and they looked at it in reverse. Not upside down, but, like, in reverse. And they said it looked like 119, and I think my iPad is cutting off. Wait a second. That was weird. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
By the way, for anyone listening, I have just revealed we do this remotely a lot of times. And I really don't know how to get back to Christian. Where have you gone, Christian?
Can you not hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't see you. Oh,
That's
there.
all right.
Okay. So, the Lonely Hearts Club, if you mirror it, people think that it says, I think they said it looks like 19, and then it says he dead.
Where?
So, okay. Let me send a little
19 he dead. Is that the Peppers or the Lonely Hearts or all of it? Like,
all right, I'm going to show you. It's like they mirrored it like top to bottom. Do you understand what I'm saying when I say that?
Oh, they like folded it upon itself?
Yes. So like they folded it. And so it looks like it says 19 he die. I'm looking at it right now. And so there's also an arrow that appears between he, die, and the arrow points right up to Paul McCartney. So they believe that he died in January the 9th. And then if you look on the back sleeve
oh my gosh,
of the same album, there's a list of songs and there's the lyrics at the bottom. And George Harrison's hand is pointing. And it's pointing to the word Wednesday from a song. And it turns out that the 9th of January, on the year that they think he died, was a Wednesday.
This is interesting. Oh my gosh.
It is. I know. I told you I did some research on this one.
Crap.
So
here's the thing. Yeah. Oh, there's the back. Okay, cool. I was wanting to see the back.
Yes.
To me, it's first of all, it feels very, who's the one? Who's the guy pointing?
George
Green?
Yeah, no. If you go and you look, he's pointing like up. George Harrison's all the way on the left. He's in the red. Also, the other thing is Paul McCartney is the only one turned around backwards on the back of this. He's the only one not showing his face. But if you look, he's pointing towards the song. It says, she's leaving home. It says Wednesday morning at 5:00 as the day begins. So they believe that's the time of death.
Crazy.
And the other thing was, at one point I saw a picture where they were like, it looks like in all of the press photos and all of this that Paul McCartney had brown eyes. Well, if you look at Paul McCartney's eyes now, they are green. So, anyway, I read an interesting thing, though, that it kind of explained like why conspiracy theories seem valid when you're hearing about it. Right?
Right.
Because, like, in reality, if Paul McCartney had died, would the British government have been like that concerned as to like replace him?
Right. That's the part that I struggle with, like, receiving, is like the whole beginning of just like, if it wasn't for this, like, hey, let's have the government try and cover it, more of like, hey, the band was 100% for it, kind of. But then, like, the producers or everything had, like, a more of a hold on it than anything. Because the Beatles were very much, like, more of, like, pushed by whoever was funding them or whatever to be marketed. They were a marketed band, which is why they got as popular as they did. So if you look, even, like, when they came to America, I believe they were told to, like, not wear their wedding rings so that girls didn't know that they were married, so that actually their fan base would go up from a female demographic. Wow. So if you look from like that prospect of like, they were very pushed just to be known as like a boy band, because they were basically the first boy band of our time, kind of. you could see how they would replace someone and cover
Right.
it up really well.
But then, you know, I was listening to a guy talking about conspiracy theories, and he was like, he used the analogy of people who study animals, you know, in the wild, who are scientists that study animals in the wild, and then there are scientists who study things like Bigfoot and the Loch Ness monster and stuff.
Okay.
And he's saying the difference between those two types of scientists is the first type of scientist is like, hey, I'm looking for evidence to make my opinion or make my theory. The second type of scientist is saying, here is my theory. I'm looking for evidence to make it possible. And why that's a problem is he used like an analogy of a table. You know, you've got like a table, and it's got 4 legs on it.
Right.
Well, you know, you've got a person who's looked at a theory and they've like studied for it and they've built the legs for that table. So it's not just a piece of wood, it's a table. It's got 4 legs on it.
Yes.
Well, a conspiracy, they're basically like trying to make legs because they've got this piece of wood that they're like, this is a table. And everyone else looks at it as like, no, that's a piece of wood. And they're like, you don't see the legs on this table? But in reality, they have these invisible legs that aren't actually functioning.
Wow.
So he's saying the reason that conspiracy theories are so popular is that people want to believe these random off-the-wall things, so people grasp for like for any evidence supposedly for it, so that they can feel like, wow, look how crazy that is. You know, if I mirror the image on the front of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Heart Club Band, like, it looks like 1-9, he dead, and that looks like an arrow. You know, it's like, okay, does it really look like it? I mean, kind of, but it could just be a coincidence. And there are people who think that the Beatles, like, kind of hinted around it just for fun. But then there was, like, a Time magazine that did this whole thing on Paul McCartney where he was like, I am not, like, I'm alive. This is me. Like, I'm Paul McCartney. And it's just very interesting to me. So I thought that was one of the craziest conspiracies because it's not really political. It kind of is. But it's just all around, like, more interesting than it is, like, life-changing or altering.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, yeah, it definitely it doesn't change anything. It's not like you stop listening to the Beatles because Paul McCartney was not who he originally was.
Well, I mean, it's like if I found out that Paul McCartney wasn't actually Paul McCartney, I'd be like, you know what? For not being Paul McCartney, you made amazing music for all of these years. Like, it really just wouldn't change that much. You'd just be like, all right, I guess this is Billy Shears.
At what point was this, like, because this was before their albums, like the one Abbey Road, and
yeah, it was supposed to be in, like, let me see here. It was supposed to be, like, right after, I think, the album Revolver, which is, I don't remember what year that came out. I'm actually looking at a little article here. What does it say? It says in October 1969, a caller to a Detroit radio station told disc jockey Russ Gibb about the rumor and its clues. Gibb and the other callers then discussed it on the air. I love how it's like we're just recreating what happened with Russ Gibb. It's like conspiracy theory. The Taco Boys are actually Russ Gibb, and he's still alive and still a disc jockey for WKNR.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine? What a way to come back.
They think he died in, they said, 1967.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's crazy.
Yeah. I thought you'd find that interesting.
Oh, for sure. Especially for not really caring about the Beatles.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you're very disconnected from it, but it still is very interesting.
100%.
So that was my little conspiracy discussion.
Wow.
I hope you enjoyed that.
I hope everyone at home feels like they can still trust the Beatles as they go to listen to them.
You know, I think. Go
ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I think that there's always been part of me that, like, wants conspiracy theories to be true. You know, and I don't know how many people are like that. Do you Do you find yourself wanting a conspiracy theory to be true?
I think it would depend upon the conspiracy theory, for sure. It's not like every single one. Like the ones that you were listening to me, I was like, well, that's interesting. Like,
yeah.
Would I really want Area 51 to be in the Grand Canyon? Absolutely.
Yeah. You're like, wow, the one out in the middle of the desert was all just a bait trap.
Right. 100%. But I find that sometimes it's just like fun to imagine things, and I think that's part of like our creativity and like our imagination as adults. Like we still have it, and the people that have conspiracy theories sometimes are just having a good time, but then other times it's just the people that just crave attention.
Right. It's almost like you just are wanting something from your imagination to actually be real so bad that you're willing to just grasp at anything to confirm it.
Right.
And I mean, I think we all do that to a certain extent with like random things in our lives. How we think people feel about us, I think is a big one. Like, oh, I think this person doesn't like me, so I'm going to look for any reason that I think they're showing that they don't like me. Or I think we do it with relationships, I think back to like when I liked Kristen before we were dating or anything. I still like her, by the way, but I'm saying
that's good.
When,
I'm glad.
before we were dating, I have these tiny little conspiracies going on in my head of like, I think she kind of like looked at me intentionally right here. Yeah, that's evidence that she likes me.
Yeah, that's actually really.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, I would for sure say we do that. I mean, our mind is prone to go to those places, and we will do whatever we can to justify like worry or doubts in our minds.
Yeah.
So that way we can feel like we need to do them or deserve to do them even when in reality it just shouldn't even be something that's in our head in the first place.
Right. And I was actually having this discussion with one of the pastors at Hope Church today, Clint, and we were talking about people who read like the hidden books of the Bible, like the Apocrypha and like the Book of Enoch and all of that. And if someone asks like, hey, should I read this, most of the time they already want to read it and they want to believe it. And so when you say no, it doesn't match up with the rest of Scripture, they're kind of like, what? Well, I just really want to. It's almost like you hit deaf ears on some things because people want something more so bad. And I think that's, just part of almost our nature of worry and looking for random value in things or random things that are hidden. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say for those circumstances, it's almost like they want to justify the pride or feel good about themselves.
Right.
Or like desiring more than what has already been given to them and told, that this is what we've decided was the canon, of what we have. And they just want to feel like, oh, well, I also read Above and Beyond and believe that and this.
Right.
And it's like, there's no reason for that. You're just making unnecessary rules for yourself. You're, in a sense, becoming a Pharisee almost.
Right. And overcomplicating, in all honesty. Like
100%.
It's conspiracies are like the overcomplication of like random details,
Yeah.
But anyway, that was a weird side note. I didn't expect for us to go into a deep side of how conspiracies reflect in our everyday life.
How do we all have conspiracies?
Yeah, it sounds like a weird youth pastor end to a thing like,
yeah.
So what are your conspiracies in your life?
How have you been conspiring against yourself today?
Is it the way people feel about you?
Is
it the way you treat your mom and dad?
Oh my gosh. Do you believe God is real? Is God real? And it's like, oh my gosh.
It's like Jonathan went into dark mode for this lesson.
Everyone go ahead and turn on dark mode with your phones and iPhones.
Yes, it is definitely better for your eyes. It's less strain.
That's right. Less strain, less blue light.
Yeah, So yeah, that was what I brought to the table, and by
That's
the table I mean
fantastic.
the desk in my house.
And by the table, I mean this piece of wood laying on the ground with no legs.
yeah, no legs and no substantial evidence.
Oh my gosh. Well, now I'm going to bring up a little something of my own to the table that may
We're
or may
just-
not be a table.
This is like a little assortment. It's like drawing out of a hat.
That's right. We're coming up with all sorts of segments. Might
It's
I
like
say.
it's like we're catering as the Taco Boys,
That's right.
and
We
we've got
bring
an
you
assortment
options.
of different tacos that
That's
we're
right.
allowing you to sample.
That's right. And now, Jonathan, can you give me a little theme music real fast? You know,
A little theme music.
Yeah, just give me a little something. Bring me a little something.
I'm gonna give you something very regal.
All right, and now it's time for. Wait, did I just sing that?
Wait,
That's
what?
right. It's a new segment we like to call "Wait, did I just sing that?"
Sing
Where
that.
yes, where the lyrics you sang aren't actually the lyrics of the song.
Oh no.
That's right. And since it is December, we're gonna start off with some beautiful misquoted Christmas songs.
Yes. Dude,
Absolutely.
This is great.
So,
Wait, was
Starting
my theme
off,
music
we're gonna
supposed
start
to
off-
still be going?
huh? No,
Was
no, no.
my-
You're
was-
good. You're good. You're good.
okay,
It
I
was
was like,
just
did
to
I cut it
introduce
short?
the segment. Yes. So, we're gonna start off with "Silent Night,"
Ooh.
and so, Jonathan, what do you think is the number one like misquoted area of this song?
Let me think here. I'm going through the lyrics.
I'm gonna tell you, it's after "Silent Night" is sung.
Is it Holy Night? They're like Silent Night, holding fights, and it's like what? Did you say they were holding fights in the manger?
That's it.
It's
That's
a
it.
fight club. Silent Night, Holy Night, all is calm, all is bright. Round yon version. Mother and child.
That is the misheard lyric. Is
Yeah.
round John Virgin,
John.
mother
wait,
and child.
wait, they think it's John?
People think that it is round John Virgin, mother and child.
Oh no.
Yes.
They're like, why are we singing about this fat guy?
who is this John Virgin man and the mother
He's so
and child
round.
that is there?
It's like, he's very round. Poor round John.
That is right.
Oh man.
So do not look like a fool this Christmas, everyone, and sing round yon virgin, mother and child, not John Virgin.
Yeah. Or else you'll be the laughing stock of your family once again this year.
That's right. Absolutely.
You don't want that again. Your Aunt Carol is going to be there. I don't
Yes,
know.
Aunt
Yeah.
Carol.
Yeah, I'm wanting someone to be specifically listening to this who has an Aunt Carol that has also sung this song wrong, and they're gonna be like, "Oh my word, they have bugged my house."
Okay, so this
Continue.
next one is "Joy to the World."
Ooh,
Your favorite Christmas song.
your favorite Second Coming song? Oh, I mean Christmas.
Yeah, I knew you would enjoy this one because of that reason. And there's
Destroy
actually
it. No.
there's two parts of this songs that people mishear,
Okay. All
and
right.
it's "Joy to the World." And what do you think this next part that they think is said?
I mean, it says "Joy to the world, the Lord has come." Do they think the war? The war has
The
come.
war has joy to the world. The war has come.
I was like, maybe you got some real like dark people out there that are like, "Joy to the world."
No.
The
It's
war
the Lord.
is here.
The Lord is still there. It's the
What?
next part.
Oh, I thought you were saying that was the misheard lyric.
No,
that they're
no,
like,
that is not the
"Joy to the world, the Lord's still there."
No, it is the Lord has gum.
Has gum. They're like, "Hey, can I get a piece too?" It's like,
Yes.
share it with the people.
Jesus got that juicy fruit. Oh my gosh. And so
Juicy
this,
spiritual fruit.
Yeah, exactly.
You thought-
ODG.
yeah, ODG. If you wanna make some juicy fruits of the spirit shirts.
Yeah, right. Hit us up. Okay, so the second part is in the part where it's let men, and then what do you think is the next part? Because originally it's let men their songs employ. So what do you think is the actual, like, the misheard lyric here?
Let men their songs employ. Let men their sons employ, like in they hire them. They're like, let these men employ their sons, please, into the family business, the oil business. And if they don't want to do that, then we'll hire the Illuminati and make him Zac Efron.
That's right. That is it is actually, and this one throws me off, but it says let men their sins enjoy.
What?
This is clearly Paul writing to the
joy to the world. The Lord has
to the
come.
Romans.
Let men their sins enjoy. Like, this song.
For grace doth cover all.
I'm glad that it wasn't actually the war has come, because then it would be like a really dark song. It's like joy to the world. The war has come. Let men their sins enjoy.
Yes.
Like, whoa. No. I can't believe that, dude. That's horrifying.
That's hilarious.
It's like
okay, so going to the Winter Wonderland.
oh no.
This is the original lyric is later on will conspire. But what do you think the misheard lyric is, Jonathan?
My heart is telling me it's perspire.
It is.
I was like, please let my heart
later
lead me
on
towards...
will perspire in front of the fire.
You know, at least that one it makes sense continuity wise.
Yes,
you're like, they are in front of some
absolutely.
heat.
Absolutely.
I hadn't heard that one, but everything was pointing towards perspire.
It's the first one that you've heard that you're like, yep, I can actually see myself singing that one.
I mean, I might sing "The War Has Come," but you know,
war, joy.
the war has come.
It's like the final battle.
Yes, it's the return. I mean, it is a Second Coming song, so it almost works. It's like,
right.
do you see that fiery sword come out of his mouth and wipe out the nations?
Joy to the world. As the Lord is just like destroying the world.
I mean, technically it's what the song's about, but we're going to move past my personal vendetta about how we sing this at Christmas.
It's a conspiracy theory.
It's a conspiracy, you hear me? And Paul is dead.
It's Francesco Barabar.
Wait, what? I thought you were about to say Battistelli. It's actually Francesco Battistelli, the contemporary Christian music artist. Replacing Paul McCartney.
That's it. That's who replaced him. It was a woman. All right, so the
Like
next one.
It's like a reverse Michelle Obama theory.
Right. Misheard lyrics of Deck the Halls. Original line being, don we now our gay apparel.
Oh, no.
You're going to have to go a little bit dark for this one.
Oh, no. Don we now our gay apparel?
Correct. That is the original line.
Yeah, I did it. I win all of this. Oh, dude. Dawn? Oh no. please tell me. Are we speaking like biblical judgment words here?
Go on.
You
just
say
it.
I don't want to. Wait,
Okay.
I really don't know how the rest of this would go, though.
It's okay.
All right. That's what I'm saying. It's like I don't know.
Okay,
how
well
the
then
rest-
I'll tell you. The misheard
Yes.
lyric is don we now our day of peril.
Oh no.
And I'm like, this is such a happy song and we're donning our days of peril.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly. Don't we now our day of peril? La 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 la.
It's awful. I'm just like, what? That doesn't make sense. All right. So, we'll do 2 more.
I'm ready.
And we'll
I'm
be doing
this
We
thoroughly.
Three Kings.
Oh no.
The real lyrics of which are We Three Kings of Orient are, right?
Uh-huh.
What do you think the misheard lyrics are?
I don't know, like, I just, for some reason,
I want you to sing it this time.
We three kings in an Oreo jar. Man, I'm pretty good at this.
You may not be a freestyle rapper,
but boy, can I make up some.
Boy, can you
rhyming-
improv some Christmas
Yeah.
tunes.
I'm about to ruin all these Christmas songs for y'all. We three kings in an Oreo jar. My personal new favorite.
My gosh.
What is it?
For
I
the
re-
milk, we've traveled so far.
Hill and fountain. Fountain, there's the milk.
We did it. No, the originally misheard lyric is
Oh, no.
We Three Kings of Porridge and Tar.
It was food of porridge. You know how you eat your porridge with a side of tar? It's amazing.
I just like you go to their kingdom.
Oh,
It's just
no.
porridge.
I love eating porridge and tar.
And then there's just tar everywhere.
They're like, well, the tar is for the people that were punishing for their crimes. That's for
Because
the
they
tar and
didn't eat
feathers.
their porridge.
But the porridge is for the ones who did great. It's like some judge somewhere is like, will he get the porridge or the tar?
Which is it? Ooh.
I choose
Tar.
porridge. Oh, we have a disagreement on the council.
The Taco Boy Council is at odds.
I just declare him tar worthy. I don't know why I've become like this.
Tar worthy.
They're like, I sure hope the king doesn't declare me tar worthy today.
I really would love some porridge.
I really am gonna eat my porridge as long as he doesn't declare me tar worthy.
Oh my gosh, fantastic. All right. Moving on to the very last one we have.
I'm
Winter
ready.
Wonderland.
Oh.
The real lyrics, in the meadow, we can build a snowman and pretend that he is Parson Brown.
Oh, dude, wait a second. Let
What do
me
you
think about
think?
this one.
You're
And pretend that he is. Oh no, I don't know. I mean, I don't think they're misunderstanding the word brown, right? Like that's pretty normal. Parson.
I don't know.
Parson.
We've misheard some pretty radical
That's very
choices
true.
here.
I mean, we've discovered tar worthiness and all of this connected problems. Brown. In the meadow we will build
And I'm
a
actually gonna
snowman.
do one more after this one, just because I love the misheard lyrics so
Dude,
much.
I'm having a blast with these. And pretend that he is Carson Daly. No.
Carson Daly. No, you gotta sing it. Give it a go.
In the meadow we will build a snowman. And pretend that he's Carson Daly, the voice host from NBC.
No, that is not it. We can build a snowman and pretend that he is sparse and brown.
Oh, what? He's got some
Sparse.
sparse brown spots on there.
Yes, that he is sparse. And I'm like, what? No.
Sparse snowman is a destroyed snowman. That's what I always say.
Right?
Yeah.
So, the last one, the double bonus round is
Ooh, we went for a
Sleigh
double dip.
Ride.
Oh, one of my favorites.
Original real lyrics here going, Outside the snow is falling and friends are calling you.
Uh-huh.
What is the misheard lyric?
Oh no. Is it boo-hoo?
It is not.
Okay, let me think about it. Let me get another shot here. Outside the snow is falling and friends are calling you. Outside the snow is
Keep
falling
going.
and friends are calling you.
It's the last two. It's literally actually the last word that people are mispronouncing.
Is it you too?
It is not.
It's like outside the snow is falling and friends are calling you too, the Irish band.
Yeah, that's it. No, it is outside the snow is falling and friends are calling you fool. Outside the snow is falling and friends are calling you fool.
You are a fool.
Like,
You
what
hear
kind
me?
of friends are these?
You are tar worthy, you fool.
You know, when your friends just come by and they're just like, you fool.
Outside the snow is falling and friends. They're like, my so-called friends are outside calling me a fool because the snow is falling again. I hate this time of year.
And because you're staying inside, they're just calling you a foolish boy.
They're like, when the snow starts falling, my friends start calling me a fool.
You fool.
It's like inside there's a kid who's like, outside the snow is falling and I'm thinking about coming outside and beating you. Like, just some
Oh my
angry,
gosh.
it's like some dark child inside, just like they're calling me fools all the time.
Oh
And
my
he
gosh.
grew up and ran the village and started saying, if you don't eat your porridge, you will be tar worthy.
Right, exactly.
See, don't bully kids. You
That's
never know
right.
what they will grow up to be.
That's right.
I don't know what that was.
They will grow up to be conspiracy theorists. That will come up.
Yes. Paul is dead.
Paul is dead, and the Lord has gum. This has been. Wait, what did I just sing?
I love that. What a good segment. You know
Thank
what?
you.
And I feel like that deserves a little. You know what I feel like it deserves?
A little.
Because you didn't get one, but you get a.
Oh,
There you
well, thank
go.
you so much.
There,
I hope you guys are having a wonderful Friday,
Mm,
or whatever day you're listening to this on.
whatever day. You
yeah,
can have a wonderful day. What an awkward silence we
Conspiracy
had there.
theory that every day is Friday.
Conspiracy theory that we put these awkward pauses in there because we're actually are
subliminally
programming
messaging
the
you.
computers to speak
That's right.
the lines.
That's right.
Yeah.
It is
I mean,
always Friday
you
if you're listening
don't
to
know.
the Taco Boys.
Here's a conspiracy theory. I mean, what if Taco Boy 1 is actually Taco Boy 2? And vice versa.
And vice versa.
Vice versa.
That's right.
Oh, we have reached that time, haven't we? Well. Actually, I'm going to do my conspiracy voice. Well. You might think that this is the end of the podcast, and you might be right, but you never know. Please follow us on Instagram at Taco Boys Podcast. Go check out our website, thetacoboys.com. Grab you some merch or something sweet like that. You know, give us 5-star reviews. We love that too. So have a wonderful Friday as we approach the Christmas season. Or do we?
Thank you for listening. Bye.